live!
Cheat!
Live! Stop it! It's so mean. Oh.
Fake or fraud.
You and your 3 kids.
Hi, everybody. We're Naked Roll Rats. Everybody good? We're good. Everybody...
We're great.
We're so
Go.
we're so
Yeah,
we're so professional.
very professional.
This is a grade A professional stream. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tony. I'm the DM of the Starfall campaign, a bi-weekly Wednesday game. And all these people are my lovely players. Everybody, real quick, let's do a quick rundown. Introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Tam. I play Morga, our paladin half-orc. She's great and hits stuff real good.
Hi, I'm Jaden, and I'll be playing Dora Cragblood, and that's always been his name, and you can't prove me otherwise.
Not that there's evidence anywhere.
Your Honor, hearsay. I will be playing Dora Cragblood, our Goliath fighter. Go fight, win.
Wait, now you're a fighter? No, I'm just kidding.
A lot happens when you miss a session.
I just come back with a completely new character. No, Dora's dead, dude.
Well,
His
I
brother
got a.
Borak, on the other hand.
I was gonna say I got a pit we can find him in.
Oh, ow!
Too soon.
I'm Brian. I'm playing Lucian, our dragonborn wizard that is now canonically an alcoholic.
Let's go. Wait.
Character growth.
Woo!
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm playing Dion Elsun, the party's human Way of Shadows monk. And he hits stuff not quite as good as the others, but he does it really fast, so it still looks cool.
Hi, I'm Jaco. I'm playing Ollie Kanath, the party's artificer armorer. I'm in a giant hamster ball, and I rolled straight into trouble every single time.
Hey everyone, I'm Ethan, and I play the party's ranger, Tell.
So, let's start with a recap of last session.
Nose goes.
Nothing major happened.
Nothing important.
Pretty uneventful session overall.
Yeah.
Just more the same, business as usual.
We barely hit anything.
Y'all tried to hit a little child.
No, we thought about it. We contemplated. But we didn't
very
try.
heavily.
Okay. Well, last session, at the after dealing with the skitters that ended up dropping on your side, you went back to Silene, and then got your long rest, and then ended up going back to Dominus for your turn at the watch. After arriving there, it was oddly silent, oddly quiet, and after a quick search, the other team could not be found. As you guys were exploring, you were able to contact Aileen and let them know that their team never arrived. After that, they sent out one of their scouts, Zephyra, a small Air Genasi child who quickly came up to you guys and was able to communicate with you. And after that, you guys were able to go on a search. In the process of heading towards Aileen, you guys were able to find a small smoke trail off in the distance, and from there were able to find a burnt skitter, and in the process found a whole bunch more than I think you guys were expecting. In the process, were able to find out that there underneath the burning skitter was actually a grave, a mass grave with all of the other team inside it. In the process, we're able to find parachutes and tracks of a giant skitter way bigger than any one that I think anyone's seen in these parts. And then we were going to pick up from there. Is there anything else that was a quick overview? Was there anything else?
And Dorak was there.
The whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
Okay. Well, we will pick it up there with you guys sitting here with the remains of Team B, we'll say.
Did we bring any flares with us?
Yes.
Because we said we would flare to Zephyra if needed, and vice versa.
And whoever has one, Dorak will go. Send it up.
Bump.
It's just a party popper. Oh no, we grabbed the wrong one. No, you see a giant red flare shoot off up into the sky and then explode, and it has very much a just to kind of let people know the general direction and to make sure people witness it. It has where like the phosphorus kind of effect where it slowly starts to drift down, so allowing it to kind of linger in the area. While you guys planning on waiting here for Aileen's guards to get here?
Yeah.
We could probably wait long enough, at least for Zephyra, because, I mean, she does run really fast, and she's looking out for a...
I do think
Player.
it's worth considering we have to find that Goliath. We can't afford to let a night cycle go by where more could fall with that thing still on the loose. We have to find it and drop it before tonight.
It can't be left. It'll destroy both towns.
The good news on something that size, we'll be able to follow it, but the dropping it that's the hard part.
Well, considering that there's knife wounds on the wounded, well, not wounded, the older fell team, that's gonna make us look pretty terrible, honestly. These aren't skitter wounds. We'll be under suspicion. Does anybody have any feelings about that?
I think it's too late in the game for that to really matter, right? We have to act now and worry about repercussions after. I agree it looks bad, I just don't know if we really have the means to handle it now.
But, I mean, honestly, if we did it, why would we call the guards? We would have left them buried.
That is if they believe us, right?
I would hope that our reputation was more than stellar enough to hopefully earn a little bit of trust.
And I
Because
can
we didn't
vouch.
always get along. It was never want anyone dead. It was just a, healthy rivalry.
They were assholes, but they weren't worth killing.
They were our assholes.
They were
our-
regretful compatriots. Like it or not, they were the other side of the coin. So as silly as it sounds to get vengeful, maybe there's just a tad of that in it too.
This could have been us.
Still might. Depends how many. I mean, these are weapon wounds on these things. At least some of them. So then we're not just fighting skitters. And, I mean, yeah, we're capable, but person-to-person combat is different than teaming up to put down monsters. There's a new dimension on the battlefield now if we're fighting against other strategists. They'll probably be able to exploit skitters better if they're working in concert, and if not, they're still going to use the chaos. So we need to be ready to run down any humanoids we find and drop them first, even if non-lethally, so that we can ask questions later. We can't afford to try and negotiate and let this happen to us.
I think
Dork's
I think
gonna
we're have to take a heavy
Stare daggers into your chest. You want to start now about what we need to do on the battlefield, boy? Let me say it again. This, and he'll point at the mass grave, could have been us. It very nearly was, for a much smaller set of combat. What we need is to keep our heads on straight.
I don't disagree, but I think we're walking into an unknown element of combatants we're not used to fighting, and they need to be our priority. Skitters we can somewhat understand, but until we can identify what we're facing in terms of the other humanoids, we need to be prepared to deal with them immediately.
Right. And that is not chasing this monster down. These were astronomers. Yes, we had a rivalry, and yes, some of them drove me absolutely nuts. But they were just as talented as we are. And it doesn't look like they put up much of a fight. Dead in a ditch. I understand wanting to hunt it down and not letting it roam free, but if whoever or whatever slit their throats is still out there, they were just as competent as we are. We need information. We don't need to go running into the wilds trying to find something that is much better at killing than we are.
Perhaps it's safer to stay within the walls? I mean, make sure we're protecting the people we're sent to protect instead of maybe chasing something that might not be there.
Honestly, Captain, I think at the bare minimum, we need to at least send Owl out to see what we've got, see what's going on. We don't have to go and put ourselves in danger, but my familiar can definitely go scout it out and come back and report back to me.
Let's start there.
And at that, Lucian will just kind of send Owl out in the direction that the giant stab marks through the ground are going.
Give me a survival check.
Ten.
Okay. Duly noted. Maybe you'll see him
Question
again.
about the corpses.
Just resummoning. Lucian does not have a personal bond with his familiar. He just summons it, and if it dies, he resummons it.
That sounds. Who would ever do that? Who would ever be in person
What
with
is
a familiar?
with this? What are with people not caring for their familiars as if they're an extension of their own identity? I just don't understand.
Well,
My
listen,
fault.
some
Until
people-
became the crack owl.
Listen, some people have like a bad experience with a familiar in the past.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you don't bond with them again.
I have a question about the corpses, Tony.
Yes.
So we've identified that some of them had their throats cut by what looks to be blades, and then some of them were punched through the chest with what looked to be like a large skitter appendage.
Yes.
Which, by party role, or like what we knew these people specialized in, which ones received which wounds?
It looks like what you would assume to be the frontliners got hit by the skitters, and then the backliners look like they got their throats slit.
And we have those corpses just like laying out in front of us, right? Like we have them out of the grave.
Do you?
I think they're all
would-
exposed, but like partially unearthed. Like we have them all accounted for, but I don't think we actually moved anybody.
Morga would take the time to start getting them out, so that way they can.
So it looks like they were cognizant enough to ambush the backliners where they'd be vulnerable while the front was occupied with a skitter. So I think for the time being, I'm going to do less of the running forward and focus on the running back. For the sake of, if we do get engaged upon, I want to be able to cover the less defensible while our front line handles skitters. Any argument?
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Go ahead.
Dorak will help Morga arrange the bodies. And while he's doing it, he will pull out the 3 potions that he bought, and he'll hand one to Morga, and he'll toss one each to. God, why can I not remember your guys' names today? Tell, Jesus, to Tell and to Daon.
Is that a potion of healing?
Yes.
Lovely.
So about 30 minutes or so, as you guys have been trying to figure out which the game plan's going to be, you start hearing horses coming in your direction.
Should we cover the bodies just for the sake of not scarring the child if she arrives?
No.
I'm gonna start just kind of going down prestidigitation and cleaning the bodies as much as possible.
Yes, get rid of the evidence.
I'll leave the wounds. I'll leave
Smart.
the wounds and stuff, but like the dirt and everything to try to.
Yeah.
We got a sample of the black sand that was on the
Yes.
fabric, yeah?
Which direction, DM, are the do we hear the horses coming from?
They're coming. So they would be coming from your west.
Okay, I
Like-
think Ollie's going to attempt to sort of bridge the gap between where we are and where the horses are coming from, because if we've all now sort of established that the back line was targeted during a combat, if they're still out there, they might be opportunistic, and so those coming to like check on this, I just want to make sure that like I can be a median and make sure nothing happens, at least visually, whatever I can do.
So as they're coming towards you guys, from the wilderness, you see 3 horses. You see a tiefling male, looks awfully a lot like Isold, the captain of the group. But just like a little bit older, like very similar, just like tiefling, red tiefling with like black hair, but very similar features as Isold does. And then you see 2 large orc males, and then you see on the back of one of the horses, you see a little Air Genasi girl. And you see one of them just hey, did you all find anything?
Have I guess if he's a city guard, I wouldn't have interacted with what I assume to be Isolde's like brother or relative or something.
Yeah.
But I will just. We did. It's bad.
Like, what do you... Hey, Kellen, don't, Zephyr, stay back with Kellen, okay? By the way, I'm Alaric. Nice to meet you all. Morveth, you can come with me. And you see Morveth is he's wearing much like a scale mail, very much like a guard, what a normal guard, what the guards at Silene usually wear, but you see that Alaric is wearing much more of a leather trench coat, leather armor, has like a rapier on his hilt. He's very much like he's kind of got like almost like a swashbucklery kind of vibe to him, and he just starts walking towards you all, and then just goes, so are any of them alive?
Morga's gonna step up and just shake her head no. And as she's trying really hard to hold back tears here, been trying to look brave for this for this tiefling.
Read
And chokes out. We found them like this.
Oh,
Should go ahead and request it again. I thought it
Morga, right?
Yep.
I wish we met in better circumstances. If you don't mind me showing me the bodies.
He spoke highly of you. I'll tell you that much.
He spoke higher of you.
As he should have. And she turns and motions to Isold and just goes down the line and explains how they found them, where the cuts were, and summarizes the deduction that we've recently done.
You see Alaric walks over towards the body, and he's gonna pull out a talisman and hold it over his brother Isold, and he's going to cast Speak with Dead on him. Sorry, some people might want to stay back. This is kind of this can be morbid for some people. And he's going to walk over to his brother and look over to him and just go, Isold, can you hear me? And then you're gonna hear him go, yes, I can hear you. What happened? And then he's just going to pause for a second, and he goes, I'm not exactly sure. They came out of nowhere. It was a large skitter. When we asked for backup, there was no one behind us. Did you see anyone? Did you see who did this to you all? Pauses for a second and he goes, no. I was focused on the skitter. I didn't see anything else. And he looks over at the rest of you. Does anyone else have a question?
How many more do we have?
I think just one. Because he pretty much wasted one by saying, can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Can you hear me?
This thing on?
I don't want to ask it directly, but would it be wise to question if it had any weaknesses while they were engaged with it that they discovered?
This is, if I remember correctly, this is a documented skitter. Like, the history books, we know what it is, right?
There might have been one in the past. This thing is not. This is like, no one's really seen anything. You've heard of in the stories of a giant skitter, but no one here has definitely seen one.
Is it like a Night Fury in the events before How to Train Your Dragon type of thing? Like you just hear the, you know what I mean, the rumors type thing?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, like I thought we had learned like the classification of it, but not so much that like
Like the stabby versus the bludgeoning versus the.
yeah,
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 it
yeah.
had a name that
It was pretty
somebody
much just
knew.
called the Goliath.
Goliath.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think anyone has any kind of information or hasn't had a chance to go and actually try to see if there's
Document
any
it.
research or anything.
Okay.
I think there's value in that question. I think there's value in, was there more than one? I mean,
Yeah.
Kind
like,
of.
What do we need to worry about? Like what? But that's too vague.
other than just being huge, does it attack different or act different than a normal skitter? Like, I don't
Right,
know.
yeah.
There's so many.
Trying to distill that down into one question.
Like, into one question.
Ooh,
Asking
As
what do we
morbid
need?
as it
What does he think we
sounds-
need to know?
As morbid as it sounds,
Yeah.
we could just ask how long it took for them to be beaten. Could give us something of a measure. These were experienced, and even with no backline, it hopefully would have taken it some time to chop them down. But
We could ask, what do we need to know to stay alive? And
Yeah.
if there is any pertinent information that he feels would be beneficial. He knows our group just as well as we knew theirs. So if there's something that they obviously did wrong or weren't prepared for,
Yeah.
maybe.
What do we need to know to fight it?
Yeah.
Is that what y'all want to ask?
I think that's our best.
Yeah, I think that's going to get us the
don't
most
see anything better. Yeah.
Yeah.
relevant information.
Morga will crouch to Isold and ask, what do we need to do with this to stay alive?
Isold makes eye contact with you, and you see tears start to like kind of form in his eyes, but it's not just tears, it's like blood as it's like running down his face as he just looks at you and he just goes, "Run." Jeez. And then you see his corpse
Revert.
fall back and the life leaves what was left of the body. And you see Alara go, okay, well, here's the deal. I don't know what y'all plan on doing. We can have someone meet up with you all later if you guys plan on hunting this thing, or I don't know. I'm not an astronomer. I don't know this kind of situation. I know stuff like this sort of happens every now and then. But I'm going to deal with this. And we can have our leader contact yours, and hopefully we can figure out where to go from here, because we're going to have to put together another team to relieve you guys. So I gonna bid you farewell for now. Is there anything else that I can help you all with?
Are you
My
taking bodies?
condolences for your kin.
I'm so sorry. I didn't hear that. What?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
He just said condolences for your kin.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? I don't want to be rude to you all.
Are you taking bodies now?
Yes. Yes, I'm going to take their bodies now.
Yes, I'm sure we'll talk again, but I'm sure the higher ups need to make some quick decisions that don't involve us, so... And Dork, you can see him trying to find the words, and he just eventually lands on, take care.
He'll just give you a nod. He's going to take out his amulet and hold it out and start chanting a spell, and he's going to drop the amulet, and as he drops it, that amulet's going to start to expand and start to float as he casts Floating Disc. And then he's
Great spell.
and then Morveth will help him start to load the bodies onto the disc. And after they do, they're gonna bid you adieu. And then you see over on the other side, Kellen's actually got back on the horse and got Zephyra on it, and just literally has her hand over, has their hand over her eyes, and it's just like, "What? Hey, boss, I'm just heading. We're gonna head back in the town. Sorry, this is not the right scene." And then he just goes, "Yes, we're fine." And you see the horse take off, and then you just hear Zephyr go, "Bye, everybody!"
Bye.
Wave.
So now that the bodies have been removed, what's the game plan from here? What would y'all like to do?
We're still on the clock. And I think we're going to be for a while.
Would you like me to use Hindle to send notice to Silene? Aileen's gonna have to take care of their own, but should we have ours call in some reserves to help reinforce them? Or there's some retired astronomers who they might not be in peak condition, but could still come into the field if they absolutely had no other bodies.
I'm sure Aileen has some astronomers in the pipeline. And their mayor will get in contact with ours, and they'll figure out what needs to happen. And I'm sure we will be made aware, but I mean it. As of right now, until we hear otherwise, we are the only active astronomers left. And we are on the clock.
So are we going to pursue?
I was going to say, we should probably track in tandem with the familiars, at least get an eye on it.
We'll say at this point, your owl comes back to you. And just comes flying down, just lands on your shoulder.
What is it? What did you find?
He just looks at you and he goes, "Absolutely nothing, man."
So if we take what Isolde's body reported, they called for backup and got none, so their backline was dead without being able to even make noise. That says ambush, right? These are trained astronomers. They wouldn't have just gone silent in open combat, so they were jumped in an ambush. So however we choose to go about things, we need to have our most fragile at the center of our formation until we can identify where every enemy is on the field. We can't afford to leave anyone with their backs exposed who won't be able to withstand it.
Okay, who's the most fragile out of all of y'all?
I'm gonna take a bet that it's probably the Huizard.
How
And then probably Dion,
dare
to be
you.
honest, he rolled shit on his hit points. But he also has ways to mitigate damage really easily, so...
Between Lucian, Dion, and quite frankly, Tell, I know that you can hold your own, but I don't like the fact that you're going to be... You work best being out on your lonesome. All three of you are someone that we need to keep an eye on.
Now, we'll say anyone, if you guys are actually tracking this thing, I'll let one person make survival checks with advantage.
I can jump on that.
Now, I will say, remember that the tracks 23. Perfect. Okay, so here's the deal. This thing was massive, right? We know that this thing was huge.
Right.
So, going in the direction that it was going in, which was actually, it was going east away from the actual Aileen. It's technically not super hard to kind of track where this thing was going because there is a lot of debris left behind from where this thing was moving. And with the 23, you're able to, anytime if the trail seems to run cold, you're able to get right back on it and find it. And you guys are moving at a decent speed at this moment. Are you guys trying to stay stealthy as you're traveling, or are you going full speed?
I don't know if we're going to catch it if we don't go full speed.
Yeah.
We can move at full speed, but I can have Hindle, and we can also have Owl sweeping for potential ambushes or anyone that's not out in front of us while we move to mitigate the risk. Yeah, we can just have the familiars fly circuits kind of over and behind our formation to just check the vicinity to make sure we're not getting flanked or prepped on.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling, let me have the owls make perception checks.
Hindle, my boy!
Nice roll on that survival check, by the way.
Do what?
It's a nice roll on that survival check, by the way.
Yeah. Doric is not a lot of things, but he used to be a wildman.
Al's just doing whatever he wants.
Every now and then you just hear him go, literally, there's like nothing here, man.
Being useless, come on.
Yeah, so as you guys are going, the owls, the problem is probably whatever this is still technically somewhere near the bottom of the tree line kind of thing, so the owls are kind of having a hard time tracking. As you guys are making your way, I will say, Jaden, give me another survival check with advantage. I think that's the best way to maybe describe this. 22. So, no one, as you are hunting this thing and you are heading east away from Aileen, you're getting this weird flashback, this weird memory starts popping up because there's really nothing out here. That why would this thing be going away from the city or anything? Like, as far as you know, there's really nothing out here. And then you start to think to yourself, you're like, wait, there's got to be something out here. And then you start thinking the actual tunnels and caves that your family tried to hold up in is actually out in this direction. And it's really the only thing that's in this direction.
About how far out would we be?
You're still a couple miles out, but it's like as you're getting further and further away from the city and you guys are hunting this thing down, you're trying to think of anything that this thing could be after, and that's the only thing here.
as he kind of puts two and two together, he'll freeze mid-step. And he'll just kind of go, shit. All right. If we can avoid it, we don't separate. We're going to work on a buddy system to constantly check each other to make sure we're all present and accounted for. All right?
Everything
Dayon?
all right?
Dayon, you're with me. Tell, Ollie, you're together.
All right.
Morga.
She just looks at Lucian, just so disappointed.
She's the alcoholic wrangler now.
Damn.
Constantly be checking in. No more than a minute goes by that you don't check to make sure that your buddy is present and accounted for. If you notice anything amiss, we're about to walk into maybe good information, maybe a dead end, maybe a trap. There's a cave system not far from here. I don't know what they're looking for, but that's about the only thing I can think of that could be out here worth looking at.
Are we willing to give up one of our familiars to send word back in case the worst happens and we can't report?
They've probably already reported to some extent, but it depends on how much you want to report.
I meant specifically with the caves, because I don't know how big this network is, but it changes the dimension again, you know?
No, we're not going in the caves. If we go in there and then there's a fight, we're dead for sure. It is a funnel of death.
As you guys are walking, Al takes his wing and just hits you over the head, Lucian. Goes, hey, I can do it. I can go. I can let them know. I know where Silene is. I could go tell them. You want me to go tell them? You got a note? I can send it.
All wants to go.
Does anybody have paper and quill?
Inventory, come to me.
I was gonna say
Lucian does.
there's at least two people who have actively said that they have pen and paper. So
Yeah, Lucian does for sure. He'll pull that out.
Using cartographer's tools, I'll make like a little mini reference pin on the map for them too. I'll give them the coordinates.
I was
Okay.
about to say, because that's what Dorak was about to do as well.
Great minds.
And he will just scribble out investigating Goliath drop, confer with Aileen. If we're not back by sunrise, our bodies are likely here. And he will hand it to you, Lucian, and go, send this back to Silene.
He gives it to Al.
Al grabs
Don't
and
mess this one up. If you mess this one up, you get no whiskey.
that's rude. And then it starts to fly off, and you start realizing that it's flying in the wrong direction.
Telepathically, you're going the wrong way.
You just see it literally just do a 180 real quick and go, I know, I was testing you, and then just kept going.
I have a technical question about Find Familiar.
Yeah, what's up?
If your familiar is reduced to 0 hit points and therefore dismissed, can you feel that even if you're not in the telepathic range?
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
For I am a generous god.
Hey guys, we can use Hindle as a minesweeper. You know me, I don't value
Canary
my
in a coal
familiars.
mine.
Oh yeah.
You set up a safe word with your familiar. Banana, 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 and he just
We
goes
aren't
cuts
going
off.
in the cave. Hindle's going in the cave. He's a cave owl now.
He just
I
looks
will
at
say
you.
when we get
he
about
just... I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just making a joke. It's all good.
I was gonna say when we're about a half mile from the cave, I will slow the party and say that now we should probably be approaching stealthily.
Himdall just looks at you and goes, hey, buddy. You hear it in your head. You're being a real asshole.
You should put down the crack pipe. Now get in the cave.
You're one to be talking. You're talking to animals over here.
Hey, Hindle.
We turn around and there's just no owl.
Hindle friend.
You get
We knew it.
For what it's worth, I hope they don't kill you. Good luck, little man. Get him. And
Okay.
if he sees any like living movement, be it skitter or human, the command is just for him to come back and say where, roughly estimate where in the cave and map it out through telepathy where, so that we can cartography it.
Okay.
Sketch it out as from my mind's eye.
Well, as you guys are getting closer to this, let's go ahead and get those stealth checks. Let's see how sneaky you guys are.
Heh.
And remember, guys,
Very sneaky.
remember, if you roll bad, I kill you.
That's
Oh my
usually what
god.
happens.
+7 to stealth. I rolled a 10.
Oh, this is great.
10.
Great. Going great. Going wonderful. I'm loving it.
Disadvantage roll 3 outcome.
Okay. And 6 for Morga. Perfect. You guys,
we need to approach this
Yeah.
stealthily. Clank, 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 two clank, clank, clank.
as you guys are, trying the stealth, you start hearing boom, 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 and then you realize that literally everybody's heart is just racing to the point where it is almost like in your ears, and it's very hard to keep track of how softly you're walking, because then you're thinking about your heartbeat, then you're not thinking about your feet, and then next thing you know, you're hitting a tree, and then you step on a branch, you're like, damn it. So you guys are getting closer. You are not very quiet, and as you kind of see off in the distance, you actually see the entrance to the mine. But the mine it's not like completely boarded up, but it does have like planks of wood like blocking the entrance to it, trying to seemingly keep people out.
Alright, Hindle, showtime.
Wait. I'm gonna try to do a quick scan. Do I see any recent footprints going in and out? Evidence of people hopping the boards? Anything like that? Any recent sort of traffic in the area?
Give me a perception check, or I guess survival. I guess I don't know. You're kind of in the mix of both of those. So whichever one you prefer. Whichever you
It's the
prefer.
same modifier, right?
Okay.
A pervival check.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice.
This is going great. I'm loving this, guys.
Guys, I'm gonna need us all to roll better.
Well, I will say the one track that you do see, which is the Goliath track, because it's very hard to miss, but it seemingly disappears at the entrance of the mine. Just stops. And obviously the Goliath out like entrance to it with boards on pretty much blocking a lot of the ways of getting in.
But the
yeah.
soil doesn't look loosened like it burrowed, like it still looks packed.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It very much doesn't look it could burrow right here.
Should I send Hindle in?
Dorak doesn't respond. It's probably, I won't even ask for a roll because it's written on his face. He's not a very he doesn't control his emotions well. Dorak's jaw is tense, and there's a glassiness over his eyes.
best
Dion's gonna
bet.
just he's gonna flick the captain on like the side of the head and just say, "Listen, buddy system, I'm supposed to be the one who freezes up and has issues, not you. Head in the game, lead us or we're gonna die, yeah?"
Right.
I'm
Yes.
sending in Hindle unless you have any other commands first.
Yeah, send in the owl.
And he will direct Bird into cave.
So Hindle comes in and tries to find like a little nook that it could kind of slide into. As it goes into this shaft, the shaft has these lights that are on the side. They start to like flicker on as soon as the owl comes in. And I will say, as he's going in, I'm pretty sure you can look through his eyes, right?
Up to a limited range. I think it's like 100 feet.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where you guys are at right now, you're still within that 100 feet range. So if you wanted to, you could look through his eyes.
Yeah, he'll do so. As long as the range persists, he would. And once it drops, he'd just have Hindle direct to keep going and turn around if he sees signs of life or like anything moving, living.
Okay. So he goes in and he starts to go through the mine. As he's flying through, you see old abandoned carts, some like rotting pickaxes. You see what looks like a bunch of old bedrolls, like off in a corner. But oddly enough, like as the only thing is, as you're going through, the lights, they keep like flickering. Like as he's going, the lights are going off, and then as he flies a little bit, they'll pop back on real quick, and then every now and then each light will take turns flicking on and off as he's flying through. As he's flying through, he doesn't seem to see anything. Nothing pops out at him. And then it just goes into a dead end where it stops.
Okay. Dion will explain that. Ollie, any thoughts? How something like that could come to pass? I mean, it seems like some type of artifact, maybe, or at the very least programmed magically. Thoughts?
Sort of like popping the hatch open for a second.
Emerges.
Well, I couldn't rightfully say. I mean, there's all kinds of ways people can compound and implement magics into tools and items. I mean, there's even rings I've heard that can store magical spells over the course of a day. All kinds of things. I'm with you. I'm sort of scratching my head at the same point here.
Tony,
guesses?
Sorry. Is this the exact same cave from when he was a kid, or is it just one that he's aware of from then?
It's pretty much you're thinking it's the exact same cave.
Okay, I will lean over to Dion, and I will Dorak is having to go into some memories that he has not thought about in a long time. But he remembers the wall that they used to climb when they were kids. It's how he got his name. And he will tell Dion to tell Hindle about a very specific section of wall where if it hasn't been patched up yet, there should be a hole in the side of the wall where it's very obvious that something came through.
He'll kind of like mind's eye as you describe where it would be and what it would appear as. He will telepathically direct Hindle to seek out said formation to see if it's still there.
Yeah, as you fly in that general direction, you don't see anything. It looks like everything's completely just normal wall.
I have a quick question in terms of like, I know the party's been working together for some time. Other than Captain, does anyone else have blind sight or a way to see through magical darkness? Okay. Just because those lights are concerning. We need a way to neutralize them, otherwise they're going to know exactly where we are.
While you guys are trying to figure out a plan real quick, does anybody have anything that they would like to do outside?
I would like to start looking to see if there's any evidence that they didn't go in the cave, that they went around or climbed or something.
Then give me a survival check. From the same thing, it seems like the tracks go cold here, but you never, as you're going through, you never see like actual like humanoid footprints. You only see skitter steps. Pretty much the whole time since the pretty much that what seems to be that fight that happened back there where y'all saw the footprints. Those are the only footprints y'all saw the whole way.
Just to double check, the lights that Dion is describing, those weren't there when he was a kid, right?
Not that you remember.
Okay.
Or at least if they were there, they weren't cutting on like this.
Right. They weren't. Yeah, they weren't motion censored.
And if Hindle kind of approaches one of these light fixtures, is it like a lantern? Is it luminescent stone? Like, what is the actual light source?
Like
Great question.
like a almost like a fluorescent light bulb.
I mean, he'll describe that to Ollie just for Ollie's own, for his own data bank, I suppose. So he will hopefully have a increased understanding on whatever we're walking into, for whatever it's worth. Because I know this, like Ollie said, there's like a variety of things that this could be caused by.
Anything else anybody else would want to do while outside of the mine shaft?
I think for self-preservation, Ollie's going to cast False Life on himself. Get a little extra padding. Real quick
Okay.
here.
So 9 temp HP. Okay. Morga, is there anything you would like to do?
Just make sure that, just keeping a head on a swivel to make sure that nothing happens to our lovely wizard friend.
Do you want to shoot for a perception check?
Sure.
Roll low or he dies instantly.
It just explodes.
You turn around, his head
Don't
is
forget.
missing.
Can't,
As long
you
as the
can't make
leg's not empty.
I know that Morga's been rolling really great this campaign, guys, but that's the exception to the rule, not the. Yep, there we go.
There you go.
You spoke that roll
R.I.P.
into
Luke
existence.
You forced
You
it.
think it.
You
You
forced
believed
it.
enough that it was going to be bad that it occurred. Mm-mm.
Sam, I'm sorry.
Nope.
I betrayed
You
you.
gotta believe. You gotta believe.
Okay. So what would y'all like to do from here then? I would let Tell get a turn, but Ethan just walked away. So when Tell gets back, I'll
He
let.
hates us. He hates
I'll let-
us.
I'll let him have a
This
go
fucking
at something.
Do you have to wait with him at the entrance of the cave? Buddy system rules, or just to like hold hands as he
No, just tie.
down?
No, just tie a
Just
rope.
pull him in the ball with him.
Tie a rope to each other's
It's not
hips.
that big.
That's fine. Just stuff him in there.
Captain,
Get in the ball.
if
Yes,
we
Diane.
go in that cave, I mean, it's like it's a death trap. Yeah, I mean, like walking in there is just signing away. Is there anything to be said for calling them out, smoking them out, trying to find a way to not fight them in there on their terms, or even observe them there? I mean, out here we can run it down if we have to and leave. But in there could be any manner of traps, ambushes, and extra resources for them to utilize.
I don't think picking a fight here is smart.
Real quick. So I'm sorry. Ethan just got back. Real quick. I was giving everyone a turn. Is there anything you want to do? A perception, a survival? I mean, detect magic. There's anything that you want to do?
Just, I'd say Tell just wants to just check and make sure no one's kind of close to snapping, I guess, a little bit. Everyone's still got their wits about them. It would be the only thing Tell's just kind of keeping an eye on.
So you want to inside check people?
Sure. Could probably tell the captain's on edge a little bit without needing to check, but
Yeah.
DC is a 5.
Yeah. You're able to read that everyone's not doing good.
is anyone close, I guess, to like, I guess just like freaking out, I guess, or like, I don't know how to. Like,
Now wait a
phrase it.
goddamn minute.
You mean like running off?
Yeah,
So-
like just like running off, or like, you know, someone's getting a little bit too scared to like go further. Just wants to make sure everyone's like at least still present mentally, I guess.
Dion's actually more locked in than you would ever have seen him. He seems less scared and more confident because martial arts were designed for person-to-person combat, and he's just been having to direct it onto monsters.
Does anybody know? There's a spell. I passed up on it, but the alarm perhaps maybe on our rear at the entryway as we go in, if we decide to go in. That is.
Don't fast as well. Whenever I was jotting down spells in my spell book, I didn't feel like that one was one that was so much necessary, as we don't even have to set alarms on the observatory.
No, that's true.
Absolute worst case substitute. We can just leave Hindle, and again, if he's offed, I'll be aware. And if he's not offed, he'll make loud noises. That's the best substitute. If we don't have
That's
alarm.
the 4-man alarm.
That'll work. I think it just
I cast
it would
bird.
It would be smart to not go in the without something looking behind us. You know, it's the last place anybody looks.
It's good looking out, Ollie, but we're not going in there. And when he says that, it is not fear in his voice. It is regret.
Okay. Well, I mean, you called the shots, Captain. I'm here to support as best I can.
Don't. He'll choke down the rest of that sentence. And he will draw his greatsword and just keep an eye. Don't follow me for a moment. And I'm going to walk up to the boards.
Morga's gonna step behind and shoulder.
And I just want to walk up and put my hands on the board and feel. Are they sturdy? Is it rotting wood? Is there give anywhere? Not really hitting it, but just kind of putting a hand and then leaning into it.
So you said you put your hand on it?
Yes.
As you put your hand on it to kind of feel, the wood feels fairly new. Like, it doesn't feel like it's rotting or anything like that, but it does kind of look like it's old, but it doesn't feel old. But also, as you're feeling it, just something about being here, like you feel this cold shiver, like the hairs kind of stick up on your hand, like something just like instantly makes you feel like you're getting the feeling like I shouldn't be here, like almost just with like a form of dread just comes over you as you can just feel something's not good.
He will instinctively kind of tighten the grip on his sword and raise the tip and kind of shake his head a bit.
So the way that Dorak's acting, Lucian's worried that there's some kind of mind control or something effect or charm affecting the captain, so he's gonna cast Detect Magic
Okay.
and start moving up to be within. He's not gonna like crowd captain, but he's gonna move up within 30 feet so he can see if there's anything magically affecting captain or the doorway.
Yes. Give me 1 second. I need to see something.
That's never good.
Right.
Ah, yes, he's consulting his notes on all of the great loot we're about to find when we go inside
Right.
this cave.
That's
Oh my
exactly
god,
what it is.
3 levels up
Everybody.
worth of experience and a +9 Vorpal sword? I don't mind if I do.
Just the Minecraft XP orbs just floating in the middle of the cave.
everywhere.
Yes. So as you cast this spell, you instantly, everything around you just boom, like in your face, blinding as transmutation magic is just pretty much everywhere around the entrance to this mine. It's on the side of the trees, it's in the trees. There is just transmutation magic like in like probably like over a 50-foot radius, just, and it just goes out.
Lucian's gonna go kind of gritting his teeth. Captain, with all due respect, let's get our butts out of here now.
Again, it takes him a second longer than it usually does for him to respond. And he'll kind of shake. To answer your other question, no, he's not under a magical effect.
Yeah, no, there's no
But
magical effect.
he'll shake his head and, you're right. We've got work to do and it's not here.
Head on, die on as we back up.
And as we start backing up, I'm going to, once everybody's back together, this entire place, the entire place is covered in transmutation magic. Every bit of it. The trees, the cliffs, the cave, everything. It
I need
has
to
to
get
be
out of
hiding
here.
something. We are not safe. We need to go.
Right. on the double then. And he'll sheath his great sword and not quite break out into a run, but power walking.
Everybody heads on swivels, just like, we've got to make sure.
Before you guys go, let's give me whoever wants to give me one.
Clackety folks.
21.
Nice.
21.
As you are backing up, you see something in the bushes.
Care to elaborate?
I said you see something in the bushes.
I don't want to go in the bushes.
You want to see something in the bushes?
Hindle, go in the bushes.
You see him go into the bush, and he like side eyes you as he does it, as he's just giving you a look.
And he's an owl, so he has to like swivel his whole ass head to side eye me.
Yeah, and then he just goes in there, and then he pulls out a piece of black cloth that is just, as he pulls it out, just a red stain drags along the grass.
Does that look to be part and parcel of any of the uniforms worn by the alien squad?
Get like the Who squad?
Alien, like the
the alien squad.
The six that got fucking murdered.
No. You can give me an investigation, or somebody can give me an investigation. Actually, everybody can give me an investigation if they want to.
Love to.
Okay.
I would like to assist Ollie with my knowledge of weaving tools.
Okay.
Natural 20 for a 19.
Nice. Very good. Everyone's
Captain is locked in.
guys. Okay, you guys pull, like, you all go to, as you're backing up, you pull out this black cloth, and you realize that it's a part of a shirt, like the cloth from a t-shirt that someone was wearing, and it is covered in blood, and you can see that transmutation magic is like covering this bush, like it like wraps around this bush, like whatever that was couldn't get this. And then I will say, as you're pulling that out, does anybody else want to look inside the bush?
Do I have to?
Does anybody else want to lose a hand?
I'll roll up to the bush.
You're go on.
Oh, he's like,
I'm leaving
what
you.
are you talking about?
Hang on. Morga has a long pokey stick for things exactly like this.
Yeah, maybe I'm about to like
pull.
about to close the lid, and then I see you just like pull out the
Right.
great. I'm like,
Yeah.
by all means.
So what are you gonna do? Let me know what you're doing with your weapon here.
Just stab at it.
Yep, you stab a bush.
Great.
DM response
Man,
I've heard all
you-
day.
You
The
definitely
bush
messed.
made a bush. Yes.
Yep. You have trimmed the bush.
She just like
Manscaping.
wiggles the pike around a bit just to make sure that there's like not anything actively going to like bear trap.
Yeah,
That's all we're looking for.
as you're whittling around, you hit something and it rolls from the bottom. And speaking of losing a hand, it's a hand.
And she looks and goes, "See, that could have been one of you."
None of the Aileen members were missing a hand, were they?
No.
Can we tell, like what?
Yeah,
species it is
fingerprints.
based
Yeah,
on
no.
appearance. Well, like, is it,
no,
is
no,
it,
I'm
you
just
know,
goofing.
gray-skinned Goliath type thing.
They look human.
Okay.
I will say, as you're looking at it, though, the hand almost has a weird texture to it, like almost like a burn pattern on the hand.
Is the hand magic with the detect magic?
Yes, it's the hand of Vecna. No, it's,
Do I need to chop off mine and stick it
yeah,
to mine?
yeah.
Use it.
No, it is just a severed,
Just a
almost
hand.
burnt hand that looks like whatever was in this area couldn't get to it because it was behind this, like inside the bush.
How clean is the wound?
Not clean.
Like bitten off not clean, or like just dull weapon not clean?
Like blown off, not clean.
Blown off. Okay.
Lucian, is this transmutation magic that you can see in a blast radius? Does it diminish as it moves outward?
Does it, Tony? Because I mean, it sounded like
Yes.
it kind of goes to it does diminish. Yes. Yes, it
Did
does
we-
diminish.
Did we miss another Starfall? And one happened here?
Is there normally transmutation around Starfalls?
No,
I'm just-
no.
trying to
Give
think
me
what
an
else could've
Arcana.
caused this.
Give me an Arcana check, and you could do it with advantage.
Which one of us? Me?
You.
Me. Woo.
Well, good,
Nice.
because this is
God damn.
this reminds you a lot of last time, where this looks like somebody used prestidigitation to clean up a huge mess. A huge mess.
They killed the Goliath thing and then cleaned it up? Huge mess?
It's huge.
It's a
Huge.
mess.
Huge.
Huge.
Well, if it was prestidigitation, that means whatever happened here, the same individuals hiding and keeping things cleaned had the last word, or weren't directly killed off. So they're still in the wind to consider. So I suppose buddy system stays on.
This is kind of a weird, and tell me if I'm crazy. I'm used to it by now. My folks say it all the time. But what if those combatants that had taken out the back line of the aliens were riding the Goliath all the way here? That's why we didn't see their tracks.
You don't
Working.
You don't domesticate skitters. You don't.
Just because we don't know how doesn't mean others might not have found some way.
I know it's crazy, Captain. I hear ya, but I'm just thinking. We also think what's more unlikely, that or skitters using active magic to clean up after themselves? You see, I'm divided here.
The only other thing that would make sense is perhaps it's like sometimes a predator will have smaller scavengers. Crows will follow a pack of wolves type of thing. Maybe they have a similar symbiosis with a skitter, but then again, why would they only have appeared now with the Goliath? Where would they have been? Everything's odd. None of it stacks. Especially with parachutes, that means they're somehow airborne.
Well, we deal with a lot of airborne things every night.
Except they land, and these people...
Would need to land as well if they have parachutes.
We can talk more at the observatory. I'm sorry, I can't be here. And he just starts stalking off.
Closest latch follows, Captain.
Dion is
Yeah,
going
me
to notify the captain and Morga that he will be sketching field notes while we walk so that they can watch his back for him and keep an extra eye on him. But he is going to, in as much detail as possible, write everything he can recall down on like a piece of his map where he's marked out in as much detail, sketched the cliffside with the entrance to the mine, sketched out all the details he could map from when Hindle was inside. He'll dismiss Hindle into the pocket dimension, but yeah, as we start the trek home, he's like fully documenting what he can, so we have all that information as much as possible to bring back.
Captain, would you up for a buddy swap for a moment while this goes on?
Huh?
Morgan's gonna look up to Lucian and say, Lucian, you're with the captain for now. I trust your eye for magic, and I'm going to make sure that Dion gets his work done. Don't pester him too much, please.
Also, I'll ride up next to Captain.
Yeah. And again, just head on Dion as he's riding, just to try to like doing the whole. There's a rock.
Steering.
Yeah. But she's going to try her best to kind of step up while
they get to a log. She palms his head upward and lifts him over it, like the claw machine.
Dion, and now Lucian, and then oh wait, we need a ramp for the ball. Okay.
And this whole time, Dorak will not look any of you in the eyes.
Are we horseback or are we walking? Because normally I know we're horseback.
We're walking back to our horses because we left them by the clearing.
We left them by the clearing. Yeah, okay.
No dead horses here.
Says
we don't beat the jokes that hard.
Sorry, what was that, Brian?
I said, says you. We'll sure walk back. They're all gonna be dead again.
Hey, Tell, you've been quiet for a bit now. What are your thoughts on any of this?
I mean, what is there to think? This is all... It's a lot. I think we should get back before maybe we get over our heads and like end up like the others.
Oh, come on now. That'll never happen to us.
I think your optimism is maybe a little bit misguided. I can tell you the other group probably thought the same.
Bark will kind of absentmindedly call over his shoulder. You're always the biggest fish in the pond until you're not.
Now the biggest fish is how many dozens of feet long and leaves dents where it walks.
Lucian's just kind of hopping along next to Captain. And the Captain, next thing you see is a wooden leg hop over in front of your face.
He just grabs it, empties it, and hands it back.
Attach my leg back on and start walking. It's good for you, Captain.
Okay, so you guys give up on that?
For now.
We will return, but this is maybe not this night, you know?
I mean, and Dark, like, this is our ship. We are literally on the clock. We have to be ready for Starfall tonight.
Lucian wants to go back to the observatory to pull old tomes. Because we've all potentially heard stories, but he wants to find them. Of what this could be, what to expect. And then we can go from there. But he wants to actually... As much as he drinks, he does still study. And so he's going to spend time. He wants to get back to the observatory to look through the records.
Give me give me an intelligence check with advantage.
Wow. Yeah. 11.
Yeah, you're sitting there as you're going along. You're still thinking about that skitter as you're going, and like you're thinking about it, and you're like, you start to think that you don't have to worry about that skitter no more. As you start to think about the transmutation and how it splattered out from the entrance, and where that prestidigitation was all over the trees and all over the bushes, and
So that the question I asked earlier of the big enough to splatter out. So that's what I'm thinking it is.
yes, you're thinking that whatever that thing was got exploded, which matches
And as we're-
the hand that you have.
Something was powerful enough to destroy the Goliath and potentially a person. That's the only explanation as to why it was so much prestidigitation in there. Why they cleaned so much up. Who? What could have done that? I don't know. I mean, it took out the entire team from Aileen, but something was able to detonate that entire clearing to destroy that Goliath skitter. There's more to what's going on.
Also, give
Would that
me
suggest
a
a third
history.
party?
Yeah, I was gonna say give me a history check. Oof. You're starting you're thinking about that, and like no one that you can think of off the top of your head is strong enough that has the power to just explode something like that. You know most of the casters in the area. There's some strong ones. There's some people that are like stronger than you, know more magic than you, but no one's that strong to be able to just blow something that big up like that.
There's no one to be able to, no one I know that can make that feat. And I know the casters in the area. I mean, we don't always get along, but we study with one another. We share knowledge with one another. As much as the towns don't get along, we still have to protect one another. And I have no idea what could have caused it, but there's more to all of this. I don't know if there's more to it in the sense of information's being kept from us, or there's more to it in the sense of no one's ever figured it out or survived to tell the tale.
I have a strange thought for your consideration. What if the parachutes and the individuals who killed the alien squad were also hunting this exact same skitter? We thought they were working in tandem, but what if they were a third party after that skitter for whatever reason, and then eliminated it with that blast and then cleaned what they could?
Then why would they kill the alien squad?
My only guess is because they saw them as competition or wouldn't want witnesses that they were there. If the alien squad got to it before they had an opportunity to themselves, maybe. It's an incomplete thought, but it just stands to reason that either there was another external party after this skitter, or the same individuals that cleaned the first site cleaned the second and were after both times the skitter. Either way, once we get back, I'm going to go talk to Elle. I want to see what she has to say. She's old. She's smart.
Ollie, also give me an intelligence check as well.
Okay. An 8.
Something about this is there's something in your brain that's just subtly pinging, but you can't really put your finger on it. Something's like something about this is pinging, and you're like, but it's just not. It's not connecting. It's just like, what was it? What was it? As you're sitting there thinking about it, but you're not able to really put the pieces together. But there's something here that
You care if I spitball like out loud to the party for a second, just to sort of reflect that?
do it. Spitball. I'll dodge.
All right. So, Lucian, you said that there's nobody strong enough or capable enough to do something like that. I mean, I make things. You give me enough gunpowder and enough, enough materials. Perhaps something did that. You know what I mean?
I would say yeah, but there was no crater. I mean, if you have enough gunpowder to drop a bomb big enough to destroy that thing, surely there would be a crater, right? And that's not really something prestidigitation will fix. Prestidigitation can clean up blood and guts and all of that, but I mean, I guess if you had mold earth, you could mold the earth back to the way it was, but
What if they were able to put an explosive in it somehow? Its own shell might stop a crater from forming, and all the force would be directed on its body. I mean, I don't know exactly how you feed a skitter a bomb, but
No, it's a good point because with enough power from the inside out, there still would be at least heat.
yeah.
So that would reflect on in terms of the appendage he found. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but I think that you might be onto something there with it being fed.
Why did they set the first one on fire?
Not anything we could figure out why you would. Unless it was to discourage us from digging the bodies up from under it, but
that only served as a signal. They could have buried them in the bushes 20 yards away, and we never would have found them.
Then that's
Yeah.
what they wanted us to find. They wanted to say, "Look, I'm capable of this."
Are we overthinking it too much? What if they were in some sort of a rush? Like they couldn't be bothered to put it out after killing it with either fire magics or the other way. You know what I mean? Like it could be that they were impatient or had to move quickly.
But they
but
put it on
very-
top of the gravesite. If it was the gravesite in one place and the skitter in another, sure.
Yeah, no, I'm getting too heady about it. No, you're right. I'm just, whatever can stick.
Right.
Tony, is there a
Yes?
check I could make to, for lack of a better term, try and psychoanalyze the behaviors, both of leaving a flaming skitter, the idea of the grave, like try and piece together what potential thought processes, or like, for lack of a better term, whether it might have been warning, whether it might have been practical. Can I try and essentially profile what the hell could have led to that?
Give me a psycho insight check.
So 10.
You're thinking, and like some of the stuff is like you're like maybe like is you're getting the same kind of thoughts that everybody else is having. You're like, maybe it was they were in a hurry. Who knows? Maybe they were like trying to make it obvious as like trying to get people to follow them. Maybe it was
Can I use my heroic inspiration?
sure.
I'm grasping. We gotta roll better, guys. There we go. 23.
That's a perception check.
Oh, it's the same as my insight. Sorry, I just looked
Okay.
at wisdom.
Okay.
They're both a +7.
Okay.
Excuse me.
It's a lot of it isn't really making a whole lot of sense, but the one thing that's sticking out is that it just looks rushed. and you start to think maybe that's what it was they were trying to get somewhere very quickly, and they didn't have a whole lot of time to really stop.
I forget if we already determined, but what was the general time of death that we estimated for Alien Squad?
It was like a couple like hours. It was pretty much right around the same. Like you assumed, like that it was pretty much. There was several downfall. There were or starfalls, one on your side and one on their side, and so you would assume that it would probably have happened around that time.
Okay. So, like, between midnight and 2-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. So not that close to morning that would have been the rush. Dion will kind of stream of consciousness in the same way that Ollie was. So, let's say the human or humanoid individuals stumbled upon Aileen. For whatever reason, they maybe didn't want to waste their time in there, and they had something else to do. They still ended up digging a grave and putting a corpse on it, but they clearly didn't hide it. So it speaks to, did they not expect the timeline we would be pursuing? Did they not think there'd be a second team out? They may have intended to double back. I mean, if they've studied our responses, I don't know, it's just this is... They walked through it too quick, but it's breaking my brain to try and figure out why. They had so many opportunities that they could have done more unless something else was motivating them not to. What were they What were they after that they couldn't get or they couldn't take the time?
Maybe that, I mean, honestly, maybe the time is the reason behind it. Because had we not come and dug up the bodies, we would have been searching for them and probably run across the tracks a whole lot faster. I mean,
So you're saying they put it there to delay us, waste our time since we spent so much time trying to figure it out?
possibly.
I mean, it
Honestly.
takes 10 minutes to dig a grave if you're a few people and strong. And it took us, what, a half hour to an hour, plus we waited for Aileen reinforcements, so maybe this was just them throwing a red herring to buy themselves time.
I mean, if you're saying it all seems like it was rushed, I mean, maybe that was the point. Maybe they needed time. And they knew that if they dug a shallow grave and threw some dirt on the ones that they killed and then burned a body on top of it, that it would draw us in. And then we would spend time investigating why it was burning and then looking around and then digging up the bodies because it wasn't well done. But all of that we're not going to do quickly because the job we're in, everything can attack you. And so everything has to be done with slowed down. And honestly, maybe a lot of this is just to distract us.
I will say, as you're talking this out, and with your role, and how confusing all of this is, you start to think about it for a second, and that maybe it's not that connected. Maybe, as you're sitting there talking this out, you start to think to yourself, you go, what if they dropped the skitter, they brought that as a bait, but Aileen showed up before they could get out?
They wanted the Goliath to come to the burning skitter, but Aileen found both. They drop Aileen. Goliaths, we see them so rarely. It's a rumor. It's not even real. It's theorized, which means they would have had some way to predict what would be falling and the general vicinity if they were putting something like this together, or they would have had a way to induce a Goliath into falling. Either one of those is an incredibly unfortunate thing that they have that we don't.
2 quick questions.
Who?
The skitter that was burning, it still had its head, correct?
It still had its head, but it also, as it was burnt and you were investigating it, I forgot who it was. I think somebody rolled, if I remember right, somebody rolled on it, and it had been dead for a while.
Yeah, it was dead before, like long before they even caught it on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That changes my second. Because when they sent up the flares, they only shot 1 on their side, right?
Yeah.
there's no
Well, they just shoot the
there's
flare
no
up to
flare.
let you know that there's something on your side. They don't send a flare up only if you need to respond to something on your side. They
Okay.
didn't say how much is on their side.
Okay.
So
Well,
I
I'm back
guess
to having
the
nothing.
biggest question isn't what or why anymore. Who has this knowledge? Who has this capability? Who is out there that we have no sense of? Is there anything in the histories of a third city that once was there, of a underground organization, of now we're going conspiracy theories with secret societies? Like,
The
who?
Illuminati.
Here it is.
If we want to go underground, I think that at some point, let's say we finish our watch, we go back to that fucking cave.
Honestly, with knowing that the Goliath is gone, we take some time, we rest up, and then we go ready for anything and everything. And Captain, you might need some information. We don't poke, we don't prod, we work together, we take care of one another. We all have our demons, we all have our secrets. And I'm not trying to force you, but if you have some information that might help us. Or if it's you have information that you're willing to show when we get there, but you don't think you can be level-headed enough in the moment, we let Morga take lead on it. And you just be information and backup.
When you say go back to the mines, there is a single tear that runs down the side of Dorak's face. And you can see him like clenching his jaw over and over and over. And then he slaps himself across the face as hard as possible, like spits out blood after. You're right.
Yeah, there he is. There he is.
We'll talk at the observatory because you're right. I'm not sure if it's useful information, but I know what I know. And I'll tell you what I know.
I also want to take the time, if we can spare it, to talk to Elle. She is a vet. She's probably hasn't seen this before, but she taught me to see.
What time of day
know.
is it?
It's getting real late in the afternoon. You assume that if you guys beeline towards the observatory, it'll probably be nightfall by the time you guys get there.
Yeah. We gotta
What is
be
our
feet to make sure we're
expectation
covering
on-
our half.
Yeah.
What is our expectation on that? On them being able to have someone relieve us?
Might be pulling
Well,
some double shifts.
That's what I was saying earlier. Until Eileen figures out who their next set of astronomers are, we may be every day.
So I will say this.
isn't out of care. Okay.
I was going to say, Jane, you would know there'll be another group there.
Right. I just
No.
I just wasn't sure how.
It as
Like I knew that they would have astronomers in training. I just wasn't sure how battle ready they would be, or if they would be able to get it put together in a day.
Throughout the history of the astronomers, even when stuff like this happens, which it has happened in the past, obviously, the next day there will be another group ready because there's always people being trained.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was under the impression, kind of above board, that they always had like a scouting roster because we have newer astronomers in our own group.
Yes, and they work.
Um,
They work like the exact same way, so they always have people trained, ready to go. And there's people that just don't make the cut, the year prior and stuff like that. So there's always
And now
people.
suddenly they do
The
because
JV
there's a
team.
vacuum.
Yeah.
Hey Jimmy, you ready to play on varsity? Why?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead, you're right.
He's dead.
I mean,
Get
just
in there,
remember,
sport.
there's like 3 of y'all that started at the same time. Y'all were the B team.
We were the B team.
B for best.
I was
Tony,
the
I have a
quarterback of the
question.
B team.
No. Yes.
So I'm proficient in common sign language, and considering the fact that L is blind and was blinded in the line of duty, is there a way Dion would be able to write in Braille essentially by like punching punching the bumps into the fabric? Like, would that be something that would come along with common sign proficiency, so that
I
he's
would-
not only like in terms of like audio impaired but visually impaired?
So I would say that you could send a very rough message.
It's literally just going to be come to observatory ASAP, emergency, 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 lots of exclamation points, and then a heart at the end.
Lesson
Okay. Okay.
Listen, a boy needs his mom, okay?
It might be nice.
Rock. Tree.
While you're sitting there doing needle poking.
I like to think every time he like accidentally pricks his hand, it's just like an infinitesimally non-useful amount of lay on hands to just un-needle stick him.
There is not for this, no.
So
You get all of it.
the lack of needlework awareness or messing up while you're writing is the same way that she feels about Lucian's leg. It's just like, come on, friends, constant vigilance, a little bit, please.
But he will take that braille note. He will fold it up. He will tie it to Hindel's leg, and he will say, "Be fucking polite to your elders," and send him on his way.
Okay.
He mostly just doesn't want her to kill Hindle, because if Hindle mouths off, she'd probably snap his neck.
He just head spins around.
He probably knows too. Hindle's met her. He's afraid.
So yeah, you guys are able to beeline towards the Dominus Observatory, and if y'all want, you can begin your watch.
Hooray!
Nice.
So as it's getting very late in the night, you haven't seen anything. Who's actually on the actual scope?
Probably be up there, considering his nightliness, shadowy BS. He lives in the shadows and the
Shadow
darkness.
nonsense.
He's one with the night sky.
Vengeance.
Okay, give me whoever's watching through the scope. Give me a perception check with advantage.
Nuh-uh.
Okay, never mind. Disadvantage.
I'm actually just gonna roll an insight to make up for the last one being perception. That is
Nice roll.
26.
So
Bad
you're
roll.
you're looking through. You're constantly just spiraling as you're sitting there. Nothing's popping up, but out of nowhere, down the valley, you see an older woman walking up.
Wait, by herself?
Yeah.
Dion's
blind?
Dion's gonna call someone up to the scope, and he's basically just gonna like jump off the side of the building and slow fall down to the ground since he's level 4 and run out to meet her.
To kind of flex on us like
Lucian
that.
will whip the
Okay.
scope and just
Yeah.
spin directly.
It's not
to
even
the
a
face.
flex. He's just really excited to see her because it's probably be one of the few times he's met her since he's been an astronomer. Like, because she lives a little more secluded lifestyle and like doesn't do a ton of bullshit, so he's always on duty.
So, as you were running up to her, describe what she looks like.
She is a halfling woman with kind of hair that is in the stages between blonde and graying. Even for a small folk, she's pretty old. There is a large gash running from one side of her eye socket all the way across her face to the other side, and as such, her eyes are milky white with clear damage to her face. There's also littered all over her body. Every piece of visible skin is scarred. Like she looks like she was run through a blender. But what would be showing of like her forearms and her calves from her tunic is incredibly, even as an older person, is incredibly toned. She's the most imposing small person. And Dion approaches her with an incredible level of deference, but also kind of reverence. And he'll immediately drop to one knee. And even though she can't see him, he averts his eyes and looks down as she approaches.
She just goes, "How can I help you?"
Well, about that, I know you're retired, but would you be willing to be a consultant? Can we swear you back in for like a one night to help us figure things out? Because you know stuff that we don't know. Please.
I won't be sworn in because that would go against my oath, but I can help you with whatever you need help with.
Awesome. You're the best, first off. Secondly, yeah, it's a fucking mess. Let's bring you inside. And he will, kind of in the same fashion that Luke did with Yoda, immediately like scoop her up into piggyback and run her up the rest of the hill. And then he will introduce her to everyone. He will set her down, stand beside her, bow deeply, and just say, "Former astronomer L, retired."
She will, she doesn't like bow or anything. She just kind of like waves in everyone's general direction. What is it?
Zorak will.
What can I do for you all?
Dorak will walk up, and as he sees her eyes, like he was going for a handshake, very slowly puts the hand down.
If you hold your hand out like that again, I will kick you.
She sees better than either of us. Why do you think they paired the boy who can't control the darkness that comes out of his palms with a blind woman? Because she can already see.
A little bit of smoke comes out of Dorak's ear as he's trying to figure out how the fuck that works, and just apologies.
Magic.
Don't get afraid, she can smell it.
That makes it worse.
Can,
really
can
does.
a hand straight to the back of Dion. You've been too sassy with the captain the past hour.
Didn't I tell you to respect your elders?
The only elder worth respecting in this room is you.
That's not...
I-
No.
Punch you square in the chest.
Yeah.
That was deserved. That was deserved. My bad.
Okay, well... Can I, again...
Someone here brief her.
Please
my thoughts are too muddled.
Please let me know.
Lucian's gonna go, alright, basically, Goliath's skitter fell. there had to have been some other group that was there. It seems like they lured it out. The Aeon people showed up. They got into a fight with the Goliath Skitter, and then those people snuck
Wait,
up to the back
hold
line
on.
and slit their throats.
What? A Goliath?
Yes.
You saw a Goliath.
Saw is a hard word for that. We
Yeah,
saw the
it's at that
tracks.
point that Dorak realizes we don't have any concrete proof, just a best estimate.
Dion will take out the detailed field notes he spent the better part of our return trip outlining, and we'll just kind of bullet points recap in sequence of what we discovered and kind of summarize as much as possible without a half hour of word vomiting. But I mean, in game, it would be a half hour of word vomiting.
Okay, well, is there... I mean, I could tell you what I've heard about Goliaths, but I mean, probably just in the tomes themselves, you could have probably gleaned as much. I mean, is there something you need to know about them?
It's not just the Goliaths. We just need a second set of eyes, so to speak. You're experienced, you've been out there, you know how it is. It just feels like we might be first-person perspective, unable to grasp it. So, thought I'd ask you.
I've never heard of some third-party whatever. I've never heard of another group that went around killing astronomers like that. It's only ever been Skitters.
Why don't you...
And hold on, where did you say this was? Where did it go to?
Went to these old caves.
What?
And I'll tell her where
Hold
I
on. What old caves?
Can I, on a rough estimate, just by judging her age, would she have worked with Durgan?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, I will... My apologies. Let me formally introduce myself. I am Dorak Cragblood. I'm... Incorrectly, and I'll explain it later, but I'm Durgan's boy.
Oh, you're the boy?
Yes, and it's that cave.
No one's supposed to be that way. Why would they head that way? There's nothing there.
You can understand our confusion, then.
If that
We followed the tracks of the supposed Goliath, and it headed towards the cave, and then, again, with no concrete proof, but there were signs of a large-scale killing of what we believe to be the Goliath, and signs of magic to cover it all up. It just... We're getting half pieces of a bunch of stuff, and we were hoping you could...
I don't know if you all should go into that cave. It was boarded up last time I heard, just because of... There's been several over the years. Every now and then people try to go in there. Some people get an itch to mine it. Some people decide to try to make it a home. There's been different cases, but it always ends with bloodshed.
Yes, I'm firmly aware.
But the thing is, no one's actually... the thing that... Whatever's in there... I don't know if it's invisible or what it is, but it... Besides a mutant that got in there one time that did what it did. Besides that, there's really no one that's ever found anything of interest in there. There's never any. They've tried to mine it. There's no real ore that's in there. It just. But anyone that goes in there gets. It's just bad feelings. Something about it is off.
If you'll indulge me for a moment, I need to bring my team up to speed. And he will turn and address the rest of you. I go by Dorak out of reverence. I once went by the name Asteris. Asteris, Crag Blood, Dorak Himukama, which was the name of my tribe, who once tried to make residence in that cave. And when I was a boy, 4 or 5 years old, what I now know to be some form of skitter, but at the time was just a demon, broke out of the walls and slaughtered my entire tribe. My mother told me to run and to get help, and so I ran. And when I ran into Durgan and his team of astronomers, and I brought them back. And I was just a boy. I ran as hard as I could and as fast as I could, but I didn't have the stamina to keep up. I wasn't conscious for what happened next. When I woke up, I was in Durgan's home. And he informed me that while they did fell the beast, nobody else made it out.
Get out of the walls, Captain.
There's something that I don't think he ever told you. I didn't know if he ever got around to telling you. But, that night when we went back in there was a skitter that was there, but it was already dead by the time we got there. And the hole that you had mentioned, it wasn't there. It was completely, there was just a wall. We couldn't find any holes that the skitter came from. I knew when you were younger he told you that we killed it so you could rest at ease, but something about this thing is just, it's weird. I'm sorry to tell you this late.
You say people have come to mine it. Has an astronomer team ever gone to truly investigate it?
I mean, we did investigate it when we went in there. We had to take care of the bodies that were left in there, and then we looked for the hole that he had mentioned, but when we went in there wasn't anything. We didn't find anything. Later on, we put up these lights that would go off when people went in there, so maybe try to, I don't know, make it less dangerous. It was actually Silvara's idea.
Hold. I watched it come out of the wall.
I know that's what you said, but when we went there was no hole. There was no rubble around any of the walls like that where it could have been. We just figured
But
the skitter. You were young and misunderstood, and the skitter just came in through the entrance.
No, I watched Duranian climb the wall, and I watched him. Watched him reach for the top. We always competed. We climbed the wall. It was the climbing wall. Whoever could climb the highest was king for a day, and I watched his body fall. And Dorak is weeping.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. That's what we found. I mean, it made sense at the time, though. But so I'm sorry to get off of this, but I'd like you to process what I've told you. The Goliath, is it still... Do you know where it's at? Should we form up some form of hunting party?
It was destroyed. It was
We don't have hard
essentially
proof,
exploded.
but yeah, we believe we found a blast site where its remains were then cleaned away with magic, but I suppose there is a chance that is also misdirection.
Yeah.
But our best understanding is that it was eliminated, which further adds to this confusion. I mean, why go to all this trouble to dance around this thing if at the end of the day all they were going to do was turn it into paste?
That is very strange. And was there anything else?
There was the cave that led to a blank wall.
There was a hand that was blown off, looked human, and there was a piece of fabric with blood on it that seemed to have been missed when they were trying to clean the site.
There was a black sand left at the site.
That's what I was going to say. Lucian brings up that good point there, that on their equipment that was stowed with the bodies, we found black sand of some kind, granules that don't really seem to match anything nearby us.
There's like a general like map on the wall that has like the area, like the continent of everything, and as you guys are looking at it, like there's nothing that says anything about like black sands. Like nothing about that is even on the map. There's like way like west of here, there's like the ocean with like beaches, but they're like, on the imagery it just shows like regular sand.
Well, we have samples of it that we took. I suppose the next step would be Ollie running some type of alchemical analysis, just to see if it's not actually sand, but something, I don't know, some biological component or discharge from a device.
When I get back to the workshop, yeah, I'll run into a couple of things, but in my just off the cuff, a black sand or black material is usually a sign of at least volcanic activity. And again, this might be throwing a stretch, but with a volcano, right, lava, magma, any of that, you're either going up or you're going down to find it. And at this point, the only real clue where all things sort of end and meet is at that cave. And Captain, if you can steel yourself together, I know that that's tough, right? There are demons that weigh on you from that cave. We can go back in there, can fabricate us a few pickaxes, and why don't we have a try at that wall?
While you guys have been talking, Dorak has been nervously, like, fixing the, like, salt and pepper shakers that are on an end table or something, and just goes, yeah, so, sure. And he walks upstairs and sits at the telescope and is just keeping watch.
Poor boy.
I was gonna give Morga the you or me look, and then gesture upstairs.
I would say maybe give him at least a little bit of time. But
I suppose we shouldn't keep you much more then, Master, but thank you for taking the time.
it's no problem. If you need something, just let me know. Sometimes I get bored.
You're telling me knitting doesn't agree with your constitution?
I will stab you with the needles.
I will pay
That
good money to watch.
How much?
10
Dion
gold.
is going to slowly walk to the door as if sneaking away from a lit explosive.
At least she's like 10 gold. Like,
Well, what's the
Oh,
over
good.
under? Is it a yelp or a howl? Where do we draw the line? I mean, I
It'd
could
be
get
a
an action.
it's gonna
fatality.
be a squeak.
A squeak.
You know, they don't really give us that much money in our retirement, and she pulls out her knitting needles. And then just takes off after you.
Looks like Dion's getting his morning run in at a slightly different time than he expected.
I do think we should go through that wall. The fact that Captain, I don't doubt Captain saw the skidder come through the wall a bit. That's not something, I don't care how young you are, that's not something that goes away. That's not something that changes. We go through that wall.
Lucian, you know magic better than the majority of us. Moving the earth is a feat of transmutation, is it not?
Consulting his
Probably.
grimoire.
Let me
Rolling
look through my
through
book
pages.
real quick.
Flips to the back where it says "dumbass spells I'll never take."
It is
Appendix.
transmutation. That's exactly where it was at. Yes, mold earth is transmutation. I mean, that's what I'm saying with it looked like could be prestidigitation to clean up a large mess like they used back in the other clearing. They could have used mold earth to wall themselves back up at the end of the hall. I mean, when they say that they went and there was no hole in the wall where the skidder came from, that doesn't say anything to me. I mean, you can, with the right person, can rebuild a wall in seconds.
Depending on how big the hole is, even minor illusion magics could at least hide it for a time.
Yeah. I'm not saying they didn't do a good job. They were taking care of a plethora of bodies. They were taking care of Captain as a kid. Like, they had a lot going on. It wasn't just, we're going to roll into this cave and start searching everything and digging through walls. And again, nothing against Captain. They may have just thought it was a terrified boy having nightmares of what happened and not really understanding. I don't think I think there's something behind that wall.
I like the thoughts of that, but I think also with the nature of him returning to that cave, low morale equals hesitation. Hesitation equals death in our line of work. So we need to be supportive and let him know he's not going into that cave alone. When that all happened to him, for a moment, it was him and a monster alone. Right now, he's got backup. He needs to be reminded of that.
Ollie, give me another intelligence check.
Okie dokie. Boop. 19.
Let's go.
There we go.
Real quickly, do you remember your little walkie-talkie device?
Of course.
Do you remember what it said?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I recall.
Something about that feels prominent in this situation.
That was Ollie's brother's voice that came out of it, wasn't it?
That it was, and I have a feeling that whatever happened to him might be related to Cave. This is why I'm pushing this as hard as I can, but I'm not going to stumble over everyone. You all know me. I'm here to help, but I'm not here to lead. It's not my role. I have my own things that I'd like to pursue. There's certain things that are a grave mystery to me and my family, but all signs are starting to point to the same direction, and I think it's worth taking a look at.
I agree. I mean, I absolutely think we have to go back and, you know, like I said to Captain, if it's something that he feels he can't keep a clear head on, that's understandable. We can have Captain with us. I trust Captain with my life. We can let Morga take lead. I mean, she is second in command, so...
I'll do
So-
it as long. Oh, please tell.
Are we heading back tonight then, or are we heading back after
We need-
rest?
We need to finish our shift.
But
And I
then we
think-
need to rest. We've been
I
at
was
it
gonna say,
for... It's going to be 2 days by the end of the night. We'll need to take a
I think
shift
there's
to
value
breathe.
in the rest and going first thing as soon as we can get up, before we have to be on shift, before we have to do anything else.
How long does it take for us to get to the cave?
It took you guys probably about, I'd say, like, on horseback, probably about 3 hours. It's really far on the other side of the mountain.
Okay.
What if we
How-
spent the night in Aileen? Or took a rest on our off day in Aileen? Would that cut the travel
Oh,
time
yeah.
down significantly?
I mean, you'd be better off probably just sleeping in the observatory.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, how far, so
That's
that's a
what's
question.
the
How far is it
difference.
from the observatory?
Oh, sorry, that's what I thought you were asking. About 3 hours from the observatory.
Right, 3, yeah.
3 from the observatory, okay.
Oh, damn, yeah. So coming from Selling would be
So
pop.
it almost might be worth it as well, especially if Aileen has a crew that they now have to replace, to potentially put in a request of, hey, we need someone else to man a day for us to do this, because there's no amount
Yeah.
of travel that we could do, come back, run our shift as normal, and not be exhausted every moment of that. So
We need a set of relievers so that we can do the work that needs being done outside.
right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there has to be some that can cover a day. Even if they double up on the number of people to make sure
That it's covered.
that it's covered, and they're, you know, they don't have to worry about. There's plenty of firepower if needed to take down a skitter.
Right.
I will say that you know that if you need replacements, you'll have to talk to the Mayor Savara.
Okay, we can do that.
What time of night is it roughly?
It's pretty at this point. It's pretty late. You're looking at like 1-2 a.m.
How far out would our replacements be here?
They wouldn't be there till probably like 5-6 a.m.
Okay.
Maybe a
Catching
little
the
bit
very
later
end of
because
that
they're new people.
conversation. Right. Dorak will walk back down the stairs. There is slap marks on his face. His nose is bleeding. He looks like he was in a fight.
Just with
comes-
himself.
Yeah, and he will come stomping down the stairs. We're going to sleep in shifts, so there's always somebody on the telescope. Now. And we're riding out first thing in the morning.
I can take watch 1.
I'll follow.
Okay.
I can do one after.
Well, I'm not gonna make you guys roll. There's no Starfall tonight.
Oh, baby, a night off. Let's go.
Hey.
That could definitely not be signed.
Free
as promise
money.
to
I
come.
don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and then
Like
we
movement
will
on the clock. Free
we will
money.
end the session there tonight.
Oh, dear Lord.
The Cave of Wonders.
Oh
Mr.
man,
Wow.
guys, it's only up from here.
Starfall,
We're
Going to a
come
cave.
back in
It
2
it
weeks.
very much could be down.
Down.
No.
Very
Every
down.
No, this
Saturday.
cave straight up. It's weird.
Straight up.
Straight up. Dang.
There's no gravity underground.
It actually goes
You're
straight into a
already in the
volcano.
ground. It just, the floor opens into a ramp straight into lava.
Yeah, and then that's where you're gonna find the black sand. You figured it out.
The black sand's actually just really fine charcoal dust of all the people that get torched.
Yep.
Human remains.
Well,
They got
guys,
cremated.
we will
Oh,
call it
man.
there, and we will pick up not next week, but the week after that. And then we have our actual Saturday game at 8:30 Central. The Ties That Bind, super fun. That's our weekly Saturday game. Super good time. We got Tam as the DM, so way better, way more responsible than me.
And she
You
said it,
rolls
not
really
me.
good too.
But yes, until next time, we will catch you all later. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll catch you